All right, boys and girls, today is Monday. Yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope you guys had a great time with all the mothers in your lives, your aunts, your grandmas, any other females besides your mom, too, because they're important women and we don't just have to celebrate our moms for Mother's Day, right? All right, so today we're going to talk about two things. Okay, we're still working on vocabulary, and we've talked about how important it is to have great vocabulary in our books. We use them in our lives, and our writing helps us understand what we're reading. When we come upon those big words, sometimes we don't know them, but if we know other words and pieces of those words, it helps us understand what they mean. Okay, so just like we did last week, you're going to go through the vocabulary section of your story. If you haven't read the book, that's perfectly fine. You can do this before or after you've read the story. So you can flip a page back from the story and go through those words. You're going to make a chart labeled 0, 1, 2, and 3 and write all the words down the left side, and then you're simply just going to put an X or a check mark in which row it pertains to. So let's go through what each number means. A 0 would mean what? A 0 means you have no idea what this word means. All right? A 1 means that you kind of have a little idea what the word means. You probably don't use it in reading, in writing or in talking. Okay? A 2 means you know what this word means. You probably use it a little bit in your talking, but you probably don't use it in your writing. It's not something you would use a lot. Okay? And then a 3 means you own this word. I like that sort of definition of it. It means you use it when you talk. It means you use it when you write. You own it. This is a word that you have all throughout your own vocabulary, okay? So if you put a 3 next to this word in a word map, you would have all sorts of things written around it in your word map. You know exactly what this word means, and you could explain it to me or another student, all right? So remember, across the top you have 0, 1, 2, 3, and down the left side of your paper is where you would write the word. And then you're just going to put an X or a check mark in each column, okay? For one for each word, okay? So once you get that done, save that paper because you want to compare it on Friday as you have read the books each day, and then we've talked about these words more. See how much better that you know the words, all right? That's your job for today. After you've read the story, that's your other job. Okay. The other part of today's lesson is talking about the inquiry question, and I've started to introduce this last week and this week. Okay. The inquiry question, and yet again, we're talking about nonfiction books, it's historical. Okay. How does the past help us understand the present? So the stories that we're reading this week, so today, and then you're going to introduce another story on Thursday, or Wednesday and Thursday, is all about history. So how does knowing what's happened in the past, whether it's 10 years ago or 100 years ago, how does knowing what's happened then help us understand what's happening right now? It's a good question, right? And I think this is particularly relevant right now with what's happening with COVID or coronavirus, because we are right now like quarantine, or you might say social distancing, because we want to stay safe, right? We want to stay safe from the virus because we know how easily it spreads. Do you guys know why we are doing that? I can tell you that a long time ago, we had something called the Spanish flu. And that flu infected lots and lots of people because they didn't know how easily it spread. And had they quarantined and social distanced like we do right now, it wouldn't have spread so easily, and less people would have died. But we know the past, so that helps us understand why we're doing what we're doing right now, right? It helps us stay safe. It helps us stay healthy, right? So does that help answer the question a little bit? It does. That's an example. If we were reading about what happened then, that would be an example of text evidence. So as you are reading the stories this week, think about that. How does understanding what's happening in this story right now Help me understand our current situation, our current time. And that's part of our inquiry question. All right. So rank your vocabulary words 0, 1, 2, 3. And as you read the stories this week, think about that inquiry question. How does understanding the past or knowing the past help us understand the present? All right. Look forward to seeing you guys today and tomorrow.